We have a very special guest. Her name is Jessica Eason Miller. If you can guess who it is David Eason's sister. So basically on the reunion, David was fired for homophobic comments that he made on Twitter and Instagram. Jenelle defended him, saying that's how he was raised, and, everyone has their own views, and he would love his children. He just wouldn't agree with them if they were gay. So we wanted to bring on someone from David's side to kind of give us more insight, I'd say.
Yeah.
So let's give Jessica a call.
Hello.
Hey, Jess, it's Teresa and Lauren. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Welcome to Teen Mom Time.
Woohoo, we're excited to have you. So do you want to tell our listeners what your relationship with David is like today?
Oh, God. Nothing.
Nothing.
As of now, yeah.
And how long has it been like that?
Every year.
Could you tell us what happened? Because, there were a lot of media stories on the fight that caused the estrangement. You were always very close with your brother. You had a tight-knit family. Yeah. So what happened to cause that?
It was really, truly, the only thing that happened was that day that David called me, and he had said that they just went to court, him and Olivia, and the judge gave him supervised visitation to start out because Caden, he had kind of forgotten who David and everyone was because it had been so long. So to start out, they were going to do supervised visitation at my house. So Olivia called me that afternoon or maybe the next day. I think it was that evening. And she said, can me and Caden and my boyfriend stop by so that Caden can become reacquainted with you and you and the kids and, just be familiar with the house and everything so that when the visitation starts, he won't feel uncomfortable. And I was like, yeah, sure. I'm not going to say no. Yeah, I thought I was doing something helpful. I thought I was, that's what I should have done.
Yeah.
Because David had already asked me if they could do the visitations at my house supervised, and that the judge had already written it on the order and everything. So of course I'm going to say yeah. Come by. And so whenever they stopped by, and Olivia and I took a couple pictures that just sent Jenelle over the edge, and it was kind of like there was no way in hell she was going to let that happen. She hated the fact that Olivia and I were friends, and when she saw a picture of me and Olivia, and realized that we were friends, and that that I didn't hate her because I've never had any issues with any of the girls that David's been with. Anyway, so she said that, she called me after she saw the pictures, and she said, you're the shittiest sister in the world. I can't believe you would do that. Oh, my God. She was just freaking out. And I was like, what did I do? And she said, you saw Caden before David did? He hasn't seen him in 2 years, and you would actually see Caden before David can? You're a pretty shitty sister. And I think she left that on. I think she actually text messaged or left that on a voicemail. And when she did, I in return called her and left her a voicemail. And when I did, she put that voicemail on Snapchat along with my phone number. And
sounds familiar.
Yeah, she did that to Teresa too.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, within like 5 minutes, I had 200 phone calls, and
yeah,
I gave everyone her number and David's number, and I said, you know what? Here, have fun with it.
Revenge.
And yeah, and I just think it's stupid that I think it's silly that she wants me to hate David's exes.
Right. So just to clarify, Olivia is David Eason's previous girlfriend. They share a son, Caden, together.
Yes.
Basically, you had posted photos with Caden at this time. David wasn't allowed to see him. There was a restraining order in place, and Jenelle got mad at you about that. How was your relationship with Jenelle before this feud?
Pretty normal. Whenever him and Jenelle, when he and Jenelle first got together, they called me from, I want to say they called me from LA, and they were in a hotel room together. And David was like, he calls me Lenn, by my middle name. My family calls me Lenn instead of Jessica. And he said, he was like, Lenn, I'm over here with Jenelle. We're in LA. He was like, she wants to say hey to you, and she wants you to add her on Facebook.
Aww.
And, you know, and I said hello to her and everything, and then I added her on Facebook, and, you know, I guess this was her way of, I don't know, I guess showing how popular she is. I went ahead and sent the friend request, and she deleted it.
Oh.
And said, "Oh, I thought you were a fan. I'm sorry. Can you resend it, please?"
Oh my God, I roll. Now,
okay.
When David said that he was dating Jenelle when they first met on Tinder, did you know who Jenelle Evans was?
Yeah.
Yeah. What were your first thoughts?
Well, we both came from Berkeley County. I remember when it happened because as far as I can remember, you know, it's been more, I don't know, 10 years maybe. What the story was that there were a couple of girls from social services, like the WIC department, Medicaid, all that were interviewed by some people from MTV, and Jenelle happened to be one of them. You know, of course, everyone in Southport and Long Beach, Oak Island heard about it because, you know, that's Berkeley County. And I just knew her because she lived here, and I knew that had happened. So I knew exactly who she was. And then I had seen a few episodes here and there throughout the years of Teen Mom. I was never a Teen Mom fan. Like, I never was like, oh God, Teen Mom's coming on, I gotta sit down and watch Teen Mom. And it was never like that. But I knew of her just because I knew how it came about, and I knew that she was chosen to be on there. And like I said, I saw a few episodes, but what I saw like her sitting down with her mom in a restaurant, and I saw her and Nathan on the beach. Just a couple of, I didn't even watch the whole episodes, but I thought that she was horrible from the start.
Yeah.
On TV, and it looked like, to me, it was pretty sincere. But whenever I met her, it was kind of like a fake nice. She kind of like, you know, you can tell when someone's fake nice.
Yeah.
Acting nice, and you can tell that they're, you know, putting a smile on their face.
Putting an act on.
And like whenever I would go see David, there were a lot of times where she would be in the bed and wouldn't even come out of the room.
Oh,
she was always in the bed.
Weird.
Yeah. And when they moved into that beach house, he wanted to show me her engagement ring, and no one had any idea about that ring. And this was the house that they had moved into. It was that house that was the in-between house from her house that she lived in when they met and the house that they're in now. They had moved into a beach house before then to get the other house ready. And that's when that was right when Inslee was born, and David wanted me to come by and see the ring and see the baby. So I went out to Carolina, I think it was Carolina Beach, and I saw the ring, or I saw Inslee, and I was holding Inslee, and he had this nice foot massager. I was sitting there with my feet in the foot massager, and he goes and gets the ring and shows it to me. I was like, oh my God. He was like, I just don't know. He was like, I'm nervous about what to say. And he's like, you know, nobody even knows about the ring. And it she was pretty, and I was like, oh my God. But okay, well, back to what you asked me. Whenever David first told me he was dating Jenelle, I had just got off at the hospital. I was working at Zimmer Cancer Center at the hospital, and I was walking to my car, and he was actually seeing a girl that was the daughter of an employee from the hospital that I worked side by side with every day. He was seeing her, and he was also seeing Jenelle.
Oh, love triangle.
And, yeah. And he's like, so, because me and David were so freaking tight. Like, he'd stay the night with me every day, and because he was single at the time, and he knew he could come to my house anytime. He always had a key to my house. He could stay with me anytime he wanted to. But anyways, he called me and he said he wanted my opinion, and he said, "What do you think about?" I guess I shouldn't say her name about so and so. It was my friend's daughter, and he said, "Her or Jenelle Evans?" I was like, "Jenelle Evans? Are you crazy?" I was like, "You better not talk to her." And he's like, "What? Why?" I was like, "Because she's a freaking drug addict."
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, that's all I knew of her.
Yeah.
And that's all anyone around here thought of her, was that she was just,
crazy.
Yeah, and that she was a drug addict. All the videos and people around here, I know a lot of people who will sit there and tell you, I watched her, doing this and that. So I was like, I don't think it's a good idea.
Yeah, so now fast forward a couple years. David has been fired from the show.
That's funny.
What did you think of his firing?
Well, I was like relieved. I was happy. I know that sounds terrible, but I felt like I was going to get my brother back. I felt like he was going to, I guess, come to his senses. I don't know why I thought that, but...
Come to his senses as in try to work out a relationship?
Well, when David got in with her in this show, he just completely changed. He was a total different person. For example, when I went to his house one day, I was asking him about her being pregnant, and this was us about to say goodbye and stuff, and he got really, really mad, just like really fast, and that was not like him. And he actually rolled the window up and pulled off. This was after I was at their house visiting for a while, and he really got mad. He was like, "If I wanted you to know, I would have told you." He rolled the window up and pulled out. That wasn't like him, and there was a couple other things, and it was kind of like he'd be really nice, and suddenly he'd be really mad or really totally offended. And I realized he was hating the fact that people were getting into their business and they were trying to keep it private. Right. And he would call me all the time and be like, "You can't do anything at all because these people are watching every day. They're watching everything we do, everything you do, everything in my family do, everything in my family does." And it was like he was kind of overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And I felt that it would help. I thought it would have helped him get out of it.
Yeah. So you think that the fame definitely changed him?
God, yeah.
Yeah.
So on this week's reunion special, Jenelle defended David. Basically, he doesn't believe in gay marriage. And she said that that's the way that he was raised. That caused a lot of outrage with fans. Could you tell us a little bit about your thoughts on his statements?
You mean on his statements that he made about gay people and the reason he was fired?
Do you think that he should have just kept his views and his opinions to himself? He has a big platform.
Oh, yeah, of course.
He
doesn't care.
Yeah.
He doesn't care what anyone thinks about, his views, his opinions. What he didn't do was take into consideration what just came out of his mouth was going to affect thousands of people, and that he was going to look like an idiot. you know, when you're not, if someone off the street had said that, whoever around them, you know, would be offended. David says it, and, you know, everyone hears it, and, you know, of course they're all going to be like, well, you know, first of all, you look like an idiot when he said it, because why would you say that? Putting hatred out there, you know, he should never have said that, and if he thought it, he should keep it to himself, because of course it offended a million people.
Yeah, so Dr. Drew asked Jenelle, Dr. Drew's the host, he said, you know, what would happen if one of your children came out? What would David do? And Jenelle replied saying he would still love them and adore them. However, he just wouldn't agree with their lifestyle. That also got a lot of backlash because, you know, he's their parent. You know, he should just show them unconditional love no matter what.
We were raised Baptist. We went to a little Baptist church growing up, and we were, you know, taught straight from the Bible. And, of course, you know, as a Baptist, it says in the Bible, you know, different things that can be interpreted.
Yeah.
So, Jess, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? You're a mom. Mm-hmm. Let our listeners know who you are.
Oh, yeah. It's funny because every time someone talks to me, it's always about David. I'm like, I'm not David.
Right.
Yeah, I'm a mom of 5 children. And
5?
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
It's crazy household.
5.
Yeah, you got a team.
Yep. Yeah, I was actually on birth control with all of my children.
Oh, that's like Macy Bookout.
Really?
Yeah, I think, wasn't she on birth control? Yeah.
Yeah, I was on birth control. But my first 2, I was on the same birth control, and then we switched, of course, so we felt that the birth control didn't work.
What birth control was it?
Oh, God. Low estrogen. I know that was the very first one I took.
Yeah, those are a little not the best, I think.
This is 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay, then I have no idea.
To me, you know, of course I was like, oh, God. When I find out, you know, I'm like, oh, my God. But, you know, I'm just like, okay. Well, with Danica, my last child, I was about to graduate Millamite, and I was very scared because I thought that I wasn't going to be able to do my externship. But we worked around it, and, you know, I had her and breastfed and finished school and
good for you.
got my certification.
Yeah, that's awesome. Girl power.
I actually breastfed her. Yeah, breastfed for like 8 months, and then went straight to working at the cancer center. And
that's great.
It all worked out, yeah. Now, as of now, since we had to move back to Southport, I do most of my work from home. I do some in office work, medical assistant, but most of my work is I can do right here from the house.
Yeah. Well, Jess, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Yeah.
It was so great having you.
Yes, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Have a great day.
Bye. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye, Jess.
That was so interesting, Lauren. I cannot believe that David actually had 2 girls at the same time.
I know.
Could you imagine he didn't pick Jenelle and he went with the other choice? How different his life would have been.
How much more amazing the Teen Mom 2 franchise would be. Totally.
Yeah.
We could totally do without David Eason. But I know, crazy. 2 women wanting David. Ew.
That's weird.
So weird.